Homophobia to me has been misused a lot. It's about fear, it's about ignorance, but I prefer the term heterosexism for what I felt. It's similar to racism. But a lot of people say, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not phobic. I think a lot of people aren't phobic. They're not homophobic. They're full of hatred.
Well, I worked on a project once where, and this is before I was really out in my career as a director, and the producers found out through a series of mishaps, I guess, at that time that I was gay, and they stopped speaking to me. So it's very difficult if you're producing something and the producers no longer speak to you. I mean, they didn't come out and say, we hate you and we don't want you around. They just stopped communicating with me. And sometimes they'd actually communicate. I was still the director. Sometimes they'd communicate directly to the actors, but they would not communicate with me at all. And I was shut out. And that made it very, very difficult to do. And after that, that is the sort of inciting incident for me to come out in business. Because I said, you know what, I don't want to have this happen again. So I'm going to be out, and if people don't want to work with me, they can not hire me in the first place, which I'm fine with, because I don't want to help their asses anyway.
I know the easiest way for me to understand people's concerns about homophobia is to put it in a black context. You know, if I was the one black guy in a room full of white folks and they said this, would I be offended? And that seems to be a way to kind of figure it out. And by that scale, I'm guilty of a lot of stuff that if I had been thinking more, I would have probably kept my mouth shut, or not thought something was funny, or not thought I was the cleverest person in the world for saying something that was probably pretty crude.
I believe that I became HIV positive as an indirect result of my own internalized homophobia. Because when you don't love yourself, when you buy the hatred that others have directed towards you, then you don't value your life.
Those are situations that need to be addressed, and they need to be addressed in the African American community. They need to be addressed in our churches. They need to be addressed in our schools. Otherwise, our people will die because of a lack of awareness. And so I want to talk about it. And I want us to be bold and to address it and to allow people to be who they are.
I think that homophobia is about men who identify as straight being afraid of finding out they will enjoy gay sex, receptive gay sex. I think that it's really about a fear of something soft inside of you, a sensitivity that black people are not really encouraged to exhibit or to live within, because we've been knocked around for so long. Being sensitive is death. I mean, if you're too sensitive, you get run over.
And we've been so hurt. We've been so oppressed. We have been so beaten down that now we want to take that pain and put it on another part of the family. And it's unacceptable.
I was on a show that was the first scripted series about gay black men called Noah's Ark that Logo ran, and even our characters, as three-dimensional as they weren't always written to be that way. So it was a struggle for us to find the humanity within the character and within the story. Because, especially with comedy and television and American society, they want it easy. They want us to be something that they can take and then shelve. You know, when it's not, but they don't like us to be inappropriate. And that means to be normal.
If the black homosexual character in the all-white movie is the one that's the most normal, and at the end of the day, if we can create that in the film, there's going to be a lot of debate afterwards. He's going to stand out to a lot of people for all the wrong reasons, and that's going to be a reflection of their own personal stereotypes. And I think that that's an interesting conversation starter. That's food for conversation, because it speaks directly to those stereotypes that I faced and asks why.
There's so much to talk about. We still ain't got our 40 acres and a mule. I mean, Tyler Perry got some acres, but it ain't all of ours. You know, so we're still dealing, we got that, ooh, we owed this, you know, then there's slavery, we can't read, you know, we got drugs, they done dropped crack. There's so many other things to talk about. Now we got to talk about homophobia? Really?
We can't fix homophobia in Black Hollywood until we fix homophobia in Black people.
The final analysis is that you have to go and look at that man in the mirror, ultimately. And you know, if you're looking at that and you see somebody that's living a double life, that you're seeing someone that is living an inauthentic life, that you're seeing someone that is not living truth, I think that's what you can't live with.
Young Black kids are committing suicide because of this. They're getting beaten up because of this. Young Black gay and lesbian, bisexual, transgender people are being killed because of homophobia. So it's not something that we can just ignore forever. I think as responsible adults, we really need to talk about these things and talk about it in a mature, accurate, honest, loving way.
We have to do our part for a future generation of young people. Because when we do that, we uplift ourselves. We uplift the future of African Americans. And it's the right thing to do.
There's so much work to be done. And there's so many more stories to be told. And hopefully, you know, we don't all have to agree. We don't all have to, you know, stand up and sing Kumbaya and love one another, but we can begin a dialogue of mutual respect and include everyone's stories. You know, you don't have to be gay to have gay characters, and gay people can write about straight people. So if we can just begin the dialogue, I think this project will have served this purpose.